I'm making this video because it's absolutely essential for you to hear these things if you want to do anything when it comes to making money. This is a kind of touchy subject, but I'm willing to talk about all of this because this genuinely changed my life for the better. I'm going to explain to you guys all of the details and everything that you need to know to get rich at a young age. I'm only 18 and last year I literally made probably $1,000. This year I've generated over $100,000 and it's the midsummer right now. Now the reason I'm saying that is not to flex, it's not to kind of showboat, it's literally to help you guys out. I want to show you guys that it's possible, and honestly this amount of money is not even a lot. Now to the average person it is a lot, but the last thing that you want to be if you want to be rich or make a lot of money is average. You cannot settle for that. So let me get into some of the lessons and stuff that I learned that will probably change your mindset for the rest of your life. Number one, money doesn't buy happiness is only partially true. Now, of course, money directly does not buy you happiness, but chasing it and becoming an overall successful person that changes the world for the better is going to make you happy for the most part. Now, there are outliers. There are people who still won't be happy after that, and that's why I make self-improvement content. Because if you really want to get rich and you want to make a ton of money, you want to change your life, you don't only make money. You improve your life with every aspect. One aspect that I've improved in my life is I started going to the gym every single day. Your physical health is the key most important thing that you will ever be able to work on in your life. At least when it comes to quality of life. Now you can get into religion and other stuff like that, but because people can't really all agree on one thing, I would say health is something that everybody can agree on. Now, if you haven't heard of him, there's this billionaire, I forgot his name, but basically he's trying to reverse his age. And he actually goes on to say in a lot of his videos and his documentary series thing that he would literally prioritize health over everything else. So it is absolutely essential for you to cut out the junk food of your life to start being active. Something that a lot of people can't seem to understand is that your mental health and literally just your happiness overall is so directly correlated with your overall physical health. So that's number one, the first lesson. And one thing that you'll notice is a lot of insanely jacked people, really good looking built people, on average I would say they are vastly more successful than the average person. Anyway, you get the point. Your physical health is something that I think everyone can agree on is extremely important. Now the next thing that I wanted to get into was about going to college and kind of choosing your life path. I honestly realized, and I knew this a long time ago, but I never wanted to admit it, I don't think I'm going to college. I'm only 18, so I still could if I wanted to. I'm not going to be a lawyer though, I'm not going to be a doctor. My life goal is to contribute to society in a good way that I can literally experience it in my youthful years. And I hate to say this, but with college, it's much harder to do that. Now, as an entrepreneur, this is something where you can achieve extreme wealth extremely quickly, but at the same time, it's very risky. But personally, I'm the breed of person who is going to be able to be a successful entrepreneur because of the traits I'm going to talk about. Now, what I want you to do is be completely dead honest with yourself. I need you to sit here and just think with me. So what I want you to think about is that if you do not possess these traits that I'm about to talk about, you have a very low chance of being extremely wealthy. These are traits that I noticed all of my insanely rich friends, and the traits that really made me start becoming wealthy. And I could go on about this for hours, but I'm going to give you guys the most basic ones that I think are actually key to becoming rich. Number one is discipline. You need to be able to do anything and everything that is necessary whenever you don't want to do it. And it sounds so corny because I see so many motivational things on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, whatever, and they just really don't grasp this point. When I say doing things you don't want to do, there's stuff like the gym and stuff, and yeah, that's also insanely important like I said, but I'm talking about the things that you really deep down do not want to do, self-reflection. You need to find your flaws in your day-to-day life and correct them. Very hard for a lot of people to just admit to themselves what they're doing wrong. And it also includes, like I said, going to the gym when you don't want to, doing work, staying up late if you have to, going to sleep, getting good sleep. My whole point about discipline is basically what it does is it gets you to your goal quicker, because the chances are you can really reach any goal if you really want to, but discipline is going to get you there 10 times faster than if you didn't have it. Anyway, that's it for discipline. The next trait I want to talk about is just a fulfillment mindset. You need to understand what you deserve and literally just get it. So many people just don't understand what they deserve. They're content with an average life, but truthfully, deep down, they're not content with that. They just genuinely have not accepted the fact that they could be rich one day. They could be extremely wealthy. They could actually impact the world in a way that they will leave a mark. Now, if you don't have this abundant mindset, the truth is I really don't think you'll ever achieve anything with abundance. Personally, when I started social media, I knew that I felt like I deserved to have a platform. This is not in a cocky way. I say this with complete, I'm humble about this. I wanted to do good for the world, and I knew that reaching the most people would be the best way to do that. And social media makes it all too easy. So you need to have an abundant mindset. Understand what you deserve and just take it. And do not, I repeat, do not settle for less. Do not settle with a 9-to-5 that you're not happy with. If a 9-to-5 is your safety net and you think you can handle that and also be an entrepreneur, go ahead, do that. But I'm telling you, if you truly believe that you deserve more than average, you're probably going to achieve more than average. Now, the next trait that I think is extremely important is accepting that you're different. You have to genuinely be able to be so different from the crowd, because think about it, the 1% of people, the 1% of richest people, they're not regular people. And they can't be regular people. If they listen to what other people said, they would not be in the top 1%. Now, 99% of people are not in that top 1% because they do what 99% of people do. You have to be willing to stand out and literally be considered weird. Some people are literally outcasted. Like, I'm being so serious. The more money I made and the more success I achieved, the more I was frowned upon by everybody. And I promise you that's not a coincidence. People genuinely hate to see other people succeed when they know that they're not going to be of that level of success. And this is all deep rooted in jealousy. Like, when you think about it, if you have a sibling or you know somebody that you're friends with, if they got something better than you as a kid, a lot of kids would get mad at that. And what people don't understand is as you mature and grow, that deep thought of jealousy does not change. So I'm telling you, you have to be able to accept the wrath of the people who don't want to see you succeed. And this is so serious that it gets to a point where they don't even just not want to see you succeed. They literally want to see you fall and crumble. I have people that once they found out about my social media and stuff before they met me, they genuinely just hated me before they ever even knew me or spoke to me one time. And this same thing applies to pretty much anybody that I've met that's of a high level of success. Now, it took a lot of self-reflection and a lot of time to just be like, okay, I'm different. I'm not like the regular person, and I'm not gonna ever be like the regular person. Now, this is the most important trait and the last trait that I'm going to talk about, and that is belief in yourself. If you believe in yourself, now I've heard so many people say this when I was a kid, and I really just did not understand it. I thought it was kind of like a fairy tale type thing. And then as I got older and older, I kind of realized, and like I said, I'm only 18, so I'm not that wise yet. But I completely and utterly understood that this is a real thing. Belief in yourself, I don't know if it's a higher power, I don't know exactly what it is, but if there's anything where I fully 110% believe that I'm gonna make it happen, it has always happened. For example, when I was in middle school, I wrote down a list of goals. One of those goals was get 100,000 followers on social media, and I sat down and I would say these goals every single day. It got to the point where I might have become delusional. I don't know. I convinced myself that it was gonna happen, and then a couple years later, it all happened. Every single thing happened, and one of the goals, the only one that I didn't completely fulfill, is that I was gonna become a millionaire in my 20s. But like I said, that's something I fully 110% I know that's gonna happen. I don't doubt it. I don't know exactly how it's gonna happen, but I just know it will. And if you can do that, I don't care what it is that it's about, I promise you it can happen. I think what's insane and the ultimate killer of all dreams is just the fact that so many people don't believe in themselves anymore. I want to breathe and just slap some sense into people and make them understand that it's possible. So that being said, if you have any lifelong dreams or things that you really are feasibly possible, flying is obviously not possible, but I'm talking about becoming a millionaire at a young age, that's completely feasible. And I want you to just self-reflect and think right now, I'm gonna make that happen. I genuinely, I want you to look at me through the camera and just think I'm going to make this happen. Start writing it down in your notes app, write it down on paper. It doesn't matter what it is, and it doesn't matter what the goal is at all. Just tell yourself you're gonna do it. And I think me saying this can change a lot of lives, a lot. And for the people who are sitting here just fully taking in everything I'm saying, I think these people are going to change the world, because I can surely say that this advice completely changed me. Now, towards the end of this video, I want to get into the more specific things that you can do, and exactly what I learned when I started making a good amount of money. Now, with that being said, a good amount of money, for example, I'm making around 20 to 30K a month right now. To me, this is not where I want to be. I want to be at that $300,000 a month range. That's when I'll be truly content with the amount of money I'm making. That being said, this advice is coming from someone who made, like I said, $1,000 last year, now $30K a month. So the first thing that's extremely important to understand that's actually specific is you need a large number of people. Everything, regardless of what you think it is, anytime you spend money on anything, it's because of selling. It's because somebody sold you on the idea or the product or whatever it is. So if you can become a master of sales, a master of gathering people and getting them to agree on something, you can make absurd amounts of money. This is why being an influencer is so popular right now. I would say it's probably the easiest way to collectively get a large number of people. The second thing is that you need to be providing extreme amounts of value. Now, this value could be with information or say a product that's so good that like people can't help but use it. A good example is like Amazon. Like Amazon literally will ship a product within a day and nobody else is doing that. So it gets to a point where it's pretty much a no-brainer. You're going to use Amazon for the most part if you need something like random shipped to your house. That is the value I'm talking about, but there's multiple kinds of value. Another example is, for example, in these videos where I'm talking to you guys, giving you advice, this value can change your life. And because of that, it's almost a no-brainer to watch this content and absorb it because it's literally free. You're not paying anything. Now, the last thing that you really need is just a skill. It can be anything. Be social media, copywriting, e-commerce, sales, it doesn't matter what it is. If you become so good at something that you're irreplaceable, you're never going to be replaced, obviously, but you're going to make a lot of money. Now, if you just take this advice and genuinely apply it to your life, just take a second and every day just think about what you absorbed from this video. Use this in your day-to-day life and you are going to make significantly more money. Now, if I sound like insanely serious, I know it's like I'm trying to be lighthearted, but at the same time, it's a very serious subject to talk about this. And your quality of life will just be insanely better if you make a lot of money. That's all I'm saying. So take this advice, use it at your best will, and I want to see at least some of you guys change the world, and I truly believe that you can. Good luck.